In the name of Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful.
Hello, my name is Saad. I'm the current Assistant Chair of What Islam, which is a project of Islamic Circle Latin America. Please welcome our two guests. We have Brother Jaleel, who is our current lead of the Pasadena area, and our guest speaker, Brother Noah.
Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon everybody.
Assalamu alaikum. Inshallah, I just want to give everyone a brief introduction about the Why Islam project, which is a project of ICNA, the Islamic Circle of North America. We have a booth at the book fair today, so do come and check us out. The purpose of the project is to raise awareness, clear up misconceptions about Islam in North America. ICNA has many projects such as relief organizations locally and worldwide, and we go to various book fairs, we go to malls, we go to public events and try to have a booth, give out literature, answer your questions, and talk about Islam, and let you guys be free to ask your questions, get the truth about Islam, and wonder why Islam? Why do we choose Islam? So we invite you today to come to our booth at the book fair and stop by, get some literature, ask your questions about Islam, and we look forward to seeing you.
How are we doing today? My name is Brother Noah. I'm from the Long Beach and Islamic area. And I just want to share a few thoughts about being African American and Muslim at the same time. And so it was kind of strange and nice. I was looking at this Netflix documentary not too long ago. It was called When They See Us. And it was a very provocative look at these young African American brothers. They were called the Central Park Five. And they were charged with this heinous crime of raping and murdering a female jogger. And one of the things that intrigued me was one of these brothers was Muslim. One of the five was a Muslim brother. His name was Yusuf Salam. And the intriguing thing about this is that when they see us, and I'm talking about society in the name of the documentary, when they see us in terms of us and in terms of African Americans, they don't see religion. They don't see our religion. So me being an African American Muslim, I go through all of the things that just African American go through. I'm still a black man. I go through racial profiling. I go through prejudice. I go through the same things. So being African American and being Muslim, the African American Muslim experience is very close to the black experience in general. And the other thing that I saw when I watched the documentary When They See Us is how they devalue us, how we're devalued in society, and how they don't see us as they see the people in their lives that have the value. They don't see us like they see their sons or their teachers or their fathers, and they don't depict us as that, because if they did, they wouldn't be so quick to be able to throw our lives away. They wouldn't be so quick to shoot us down in the streets if our lives had value to them. You see? And so one of the things that piqued my interest, how society works, is how they devalue a person and then they try to enslave a person. Because you have to devalue a person before you can enslave that person. And amongst people just in general in America, nobody is more enslaved than the African Americans, with a little under 500,000 of us imprisoned. And when we came over here, we were enslaved. So one of the things that happens when you continue to devalue a person, is that after a while, at least some of those people are going to feel devalued. And some of those people are going to act devalued. So when a person is constantly said that they're devalued and they started to act in a devalued way, like the quote by Carter G. Woodson. Carter G. Woodson had a profound quote, and he said that if you can change the way a person thinks, if you can convince a person that he has less value, you don't have to worry about putting him down. After a while, he will put himself down. And you don't have to worry about making him go into the back door. If you have tricked his mindset into thinking that he's devalued, he will automatically go into the back door. And if there wasn't a back door, he will create a back door. That's the disease of it. And that's one of the things that Islam came to change. It came to change the value of the person. That's why our people started to gravitate towards Islam, because it built up our value as a person. We learned one of the verses of the Quran is that Allah, God, He made us in different tribes so we can get to know each other. We were made from one person, one nation, and He made us in different tribes to get to know each other. And the value of a person is judged by his actions, not by his money, not by his status, not by all of the things that society says that a person has value by. So it made us start to look at society. We looked out into society and we saw the people who were in power, but they had atrocious behavior. So we say these people, regardless of their status in society, regardless if they are the president, or if they are a billionaire, or if they are the person in power, if this person has despicable behavior, he is not of the upper echelon of society. He's actually of the lower echelon of society. And we see that in administration. I mean, people can't hide it. People are in, power positions, but their behavior does not match it, so people don't treat them with respect. And the other thing is, Islam came to do away with the bondage. When we first came over here, we were in physical bondage. And so, one of the things that Islam taught was that it doesn't matter what your physical bondage is. Just as long as you're a slave to God, you're free from being a slave to society. You're free from being a slave to a person. And one of the most classic stories in our history is the story of Bilal, and he was a slave. And so Bilal, he got the teachings of Islam. And so Bilal, he felt whole as a person in his heart. So he went up to the person who was enslaving him, and he told him, "I'm not a slave of yours anymore." Now this person still physically owned Bilal, but Bilal was telling him, "I am not a slave to you anymore." And the people who were enslaving him, he got so offensive that they put a hot boulder on his chest, and they wanted him to denounce God, denounce that he had changed his religion, and get back to the mental slavery that he was in before. And he wouldn't do it. He would rather lose his life than go back into the mental slavery and go and denounce God and say that these people were his slaves, were the owners of him. And so we run into that to this day. To this day, we are slaves to fashion. We are slaves to being a celebrity. We are slaves to vanity. And so if we don't have a firm grip on who's in charge, which is God, and that we're all enslaved to Him, and these are the things that help me in my journey to Islam, knowing that God is in charge, that we're enslaved to Him, and it freed me from the shackles of everything else. And so that's why African Americans gravitate towards Islam, because it frees us, it frees our spirit. It doesn't allow anybody to enslave us, whether it will be to these physical things or things of that nature. So I challenge everybody who's listening to this, go to the table that we have for Why Islam. I challenge you, this is a challenge. Get information about this religion of Islam. Take a Quran. Talk to one of these beautiful brothers. Let them tell you about the real message of Islam. I challenge you. And I want to see what this does to your spirit. If this invigorates your spirit. And so our table is right over here, and we're giving away free literature, free Qurans, and I would challenge you, like I said, I would ask you nicely, but I challenge you. I think that would be more of a appropriate thing to do. Thank you for your time, and God bless you.